And this is A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome back to A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition. All right, everybody. What is going on? I want to make sure that we're looking okay. We sound okay. It looks okay.
Yeah, it looks okay.
I think it's okay. So if we look a little weird or any kind of strangeness, just let us know. Let me get that ticker up, as always.
All right, so we're trying to bang through this in 30 minutes, y'all. We did not mean to come on this late today. There was a lot of circumstances that always come up with us. And so we are going to just give a quick review of both shows and get your guys' input and let y'all get off to Raw.
Because we all know we got Raw.
Right.
So, yeah,
it's
going to be
further
quick.
away for us, but we know for some of
That's
you
right.
It's coming up in 30 minutes.
It's going to be in and out, and it's just going to be a quickie. Jack and off.
All right. You want to start with AEW or NXT?
Well, let me first give a quick shout to a few people.
Okay.
Pink Swag, what's going on?
No King Swag.
What up, Bilal?
Allow.
Spiky 29.99.
Hey, Spiky.
David Jr.
David Jr.
Of course, we got Nadia.
Nadia in the house.
Oh, man. Jody, you already know. Woo! What's going on, Jody? What up, Zay?
What up, Zay?
Quantavon Moore's in the house. Wesley Franklin. Hey. Jinx. All right. Head of the table, folks. We got Roman Reigns here.
Head of the table in the house.
He stopped in. We appreciate you, Roman Reigns.
Sophie Dopey.
Yes, Sophie Dopey. We do know Raw is coming on. That's why we're going to be brief.
Yes.
We were going to come on earlier, but we weren't able to make it. So, Samantha Poole, how are you?
Hi, Anthony.
Marcel World.
Marcel World in the house.
I love it. I love it. What up, Joe? Jade in.
Okay.
All right, so we
Yoon, Young Hicks. How y'all doing? All right,
we watched. Let's start.
Yes, we watched all
weekend.
day.
All weekend. We had the Clash at the Castle on Saturday. We had Worlds Collide and one of the longest pay-per-views ever. AEW's All Out. I think it was like 150 matches on the card, 20 matches on the pre-show. It was wild.
That way.
It was wild. But we're going to start with the shorter of the two. We're going to start with Worlds Collide. Okay. NXT's Worlds Collide. So you had your USA, ho! Tough guy.
Tough guy, yeah. I don't have a 2x4. But I can hit you.
No. We don't need all that.
No,
we don't need all that.
US,
we don't. That's not the same thing.
Okay.
We don't need all that.
All right.
Yeah. Let's. Okay. So we put that back. So we got the match card.
Okay.
First off, did you all enjoy?
Hey, X Neptune.
How are you? Hey, the Glow Channel. All right. All right. We love your channel. Great pay-per-view. So Mania. So we're gonna start with Worlds Collide. I mean, first off, did you all enjoy that pay-per-view?
Look at Just Alex sitting there asking people like, "Thank you, Just Alex."
Wrestling is crazy. Yes, smash that like button. We appreciate you. And if you don't know, now you know. Just Alex, a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us. My man has got content unlike any other. Make sure you go and check out his video, subscribe, as well as Raw Cognizance. So this is good stuff. Thank you, brother, for being on here. So did you all enjoy Worlds Collide? Because I'm going to tell you.
Hey, Joe Malloy.
Kayun. Hey, Kayun. Good to see you. For me, it was a shorter card. I was a little, I don't want to say concerned that it wasn't going to be a great show, but I got to tell you, especially Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, my gosh.
Did y'all watch it?
Oh, my gosh. Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes. That tag team is necessary at some point. If Carmelo could come up and the two of them could get into a tag team, to me, that was the match. That was the match that made the show.
The match that made the show?
Yeah.
You know what? That's fair. I think that's actually pretty fair. I mean, they were all good. I'll tell you what was surprising for me, and I want to bring up the card. So what was surprising for me more than anything was the women's tag team match. Because you kind of forget when you get lulled into a false sense of what wrestlers are really capable of when they're brought up from NXT to the main roster, and then they're just kind of dialed down, like we've said so many times. But Piper Niven, Dewdrop, Nikki ASH, I know that's not your favorite,
No,
but
it
still,
was a good match.
They put in work. Everybody put in work. This is what I'm talking about. The one thing that I gotta say about NXT's pay-per-views is that they always deliver.
Always.
Right? So it was a hard-fought match. I always say you gotta set the bar. Me personally, I
But
do think
Cesaro's not there anymore, so they can't.
we are the bar. Should I change my shirt? I do miss the bar. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a great tag team.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it set the bar for me for all the matches. One thing I will say is I would say the match that was probably my least favorite was the unification of the NXT Tag Team Championship. So you had the Creed brothers versus Brooks and Jensen, Josh Briggs versus Gallus. Pretty deadly. It was, for me, it was okay.
It wasn't my
favorite. It was okay. So what did you all think of?
Yes. So go ahead and tell us, what do you give it on a scale of 1 to 10? What do you give the NXT Worlds Collide?
Well, hang on. Actually, just Alex, he made a comment. I think you're talking about Carmelo. You want Carmelo to be moved to the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you.
Yes. Absolutely.
I gotta disagree with you, homeboy.
Do we need to watch the match
I
back?
gotta disagree just a little bit, and I say this to say, just hear me out. My man would do well. Here's what I'm saying.
It's too soon. We want him to have his moment to shine.
It's not even so much that. It's like what I was saying with Dewdrop and Nikki ASH. When's the last time you saw them have a banger match on the main roster?
Oh, you feel like he'll be brought up and watered down.
Even though Triple H is in charge of the whole dang thing, I just feel like we are not going to get the same Carmelo Hayes on Raw and SmackDown. I think he would be a Raw guy. I kind of see it. Than we have on NXT. Eventually, you got to be moved up. But Triple H himself said NXT is not a developmental brand.
No, that's the difference. NXT now really does stand on its own, and there are times where you're like, but that's you're still trying to get some work in. But they also deliver matches usually on a harder level than the main roster anyway.
Yeah.
So even if Ricochet was brought down, I mean, to me, Mandy Rose this is her thing. This is her jam. And there's nothing wrong with her being the women's champ at NXT. She wasn't going to cut it on the main roster, but there's nothing wrong with this and this run she's having at NXT. It's better than nothing. It's better than being the 24/7 champion.
Hey, don't sleep on the 24/7, 48/7, I-11, I-95 South championship.
I finally saw the I-95 South.
Oh, what up, Rick Perry? Sub. Thank you, Rick Perry.
Thank you, Rick.
Love it. You know what? You're right, Just Alex. If Vince was in charge, I would be concerned. More concerned than I would be with Triple H. All I'm saying is, don't water my man down. I think he would be ready. I love seeing, more than anything, seeing what Ricochet, what we all know my man can do, which he hasn't been able to do really on the main roster. They put on a banger. And that's what I'm talking about. But for me, overall, I would say, I don't know if I'm disappointed necessarily that with the NXT Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, that both USAs unified it instead of, like, I'm a big fan of Mako. And I felt like, let's be honest, okay? She's got a career that is almost as long as Manny's been alive.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So she's a different breed of wrestler. And the one issue that I had with that match is I felt like Mako had to just kind of, like I had to dial it back. You know what I mean? Like, I could break you right now.
Yeah.
I could break both of you, but I'm not going to do that. I was kind of pulling for her. I was a little surprised Mandy won.
I was a little surprised Mandy won too, but then I was kind of happy about it at the end.
What up, Tariq?
And I feel like she stepped it up like she needed to. And you are welcome, David Jr., because
Is there lag?
Solo coming out was the bomb, and so excited.
All right. If there's lag, if there's anything that looks strange or sounds strange, please let us know. Like I said, we're not going to take up too much of your time. CM Punk, what a jerk. We are going to be doing a live reaction to that media scrub. Okay, a little birdie told us, okay, we got the inside track. This is something we need to react to.
Yeah, so we'll have a reaction coming up to that.
So look out
it
for that.
It will be cut up to heck because you can't be using AEW stuff, but we will figure it out.
There is no lag. Appreciate you, Just Alex. Thank you very much.
All right.
So overall, I would say that the NXT Worlds Collide pay-per-view was pretty fire.
Yeah.
Right now, let's
move into AEW.
Let's scooch over to AEW because this is going to take like an hour, hour and a half.
And we ain't got that kind of time, people.
To get through this match card, man. Let me tell you.
We're not going through all of them because they weren't all necessary, and it's not necessary to talk about all of them.
Precisely. There was no reason, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people on the roster. I know everybody wants to get their TV time, but dude, not every match needs to be crammed. Like, everybody doesn't need to be crammed into one pay-per-view. Like, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
Right? And we wanted to go live last night. But
it went so long, and you guys know we're already 3 hours ahead of so many of you.
So we didn't want to do
live at midnight.
So we're gonna pick out a few gems. Overall, I thought the show was good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the show was very good. We're gonna start with the bad. I think the worst of it for us is our TBS champion, Jade Cargill.
So disappointing. I can't tell you guys how disappointed I was.
Yeah.
That match
lasted what, 5 minutes?
That match was awful, and there was no chemistry. There was no. I didn't feel like they really took the time to run through the match to look. I mean, that match was awful. To me, I thought it was embarrassing for both of them.
It was. What I like to see, I'm a kind of a Bryan Danielson kind of guy. I'm a Booker T kind of guy in that I like to see some hard hits because my opinion of pro wrestling, everybody in here knows what pro wrestling is and what it isn't. We make no bones about that. I don't care. What I want to see is a show like when you go to the movies and go, wow, I'm moved by what's happening here. I'm not looking at somebody going, no, you're just acting.
Right.
I don't want to see you pull your punches. I don't want to see you hit your hand. I don't want to see you swing a mile above somebody's head. I want to see you connect. When you step between those ropes, you are a pro wrestler. You are not a brand. Okay? Pillar the post, get your butt beat, shake hands in the back later. So I like the fact that these ladies connected with their moves. I will give them that.
Like 3 or 4 times.
However, it was a very unfortunately clumsy, awkward match.
Yeah, so there was connection that was hard hitting that you were like, oh, okay. But in between that, it was almost cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awful. That was awful. I hope they both got a talking to when they went back there because that's crazy.
Okay, I don't see an Ember Moon return necessarily. First off,
what?
Wait, Shayla.
Shayla, yes, she did. Remember, because she said her birthday was coming up, and I said mine was a few days later. Happy birthday to you. I won't sing the whole song because I can't sing. That would be awful. But
this is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Shayla! Everybody give Shayla some birthday love.
Now let's get into real quick with the AEW Interim Women's Championship match. Now you had Toni Storm, Britt Baker, D.M.D. Come on now, Jamie Hayter, and Shida. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a fan of Britt Baker.
And she earned it because we didn't actually like her when AEW first started. We didn't like her on the mic. We didn't like her, but she really earned it.
She stepped it up, and I need to see some gold around that waist.
She needs gold around her waist. Her character's awesome.
Her character is awesome. I was Okay, here's my thought. Let me know how you think about this. I think I told you. The crowd at AEW's pay-per-view, they were lively. They weren't quite the Cardiff crowd, but
Right.
they were lively.
Uh-huh.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Nothing wrong with Toni Storm. We're fans of Toni Storm. I didn't get that overwhelming sense that the crowd was into it when she won. I could be wrong. Just Alex, I don't know. What's your thought on that? Everybody else drop a comment.
I got the overwhelming sense that him and I were not into it when she won. Out of everybody fighting in the match, I thought she was the weakest. I felt like her victory, pulling out the victory, was a fluke because she did not seem like she earned it to me. That's I mean, and it's hard to say because Hayter and D.M.D were working together a lot. I get that. But she didn't look strong to me. She didn't look like she earned that victory, and nor do I feel like she's about to be a strong fighting champion.
So that's my thing. Is I feel like they're kind of the same with Liv Morgan, where we were there at SummerSlam, crowd went nuts when she won. You deserve it.
Well, the crowd was way more behind Liv Morgan than they were with Toni Storm.
But I'm saying, we saw Liv and Shayna fight. Obviously, we know who won. But I feel like it's kind of sad that Liv has to prove herself
as the champion.
Like, I got to prove to you that I earned this and I really deserve it. Being the champion means this company has something that they see in you, something that they want in. Like, you have weight.
And you're supposed to represent the best in the women's division, and I didn't see that from her.
And I wonder if that was. That's what I'm saying. I wonder
she'll
that was
turn it
Toni.
around. But in that match, I didn't get that.
So I wonder about that. But I mean, I guess we'll have to see. What was interesting to me is the AEW Tag Team Championship match, talking about Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland versus the Acclaimed. Scissor me, daddy! No,
So stupid. I'm telling you, like, me and my daughter, every time they said it, we were like, who thought, yeah, let's not only make that a saying, but let's put it on a shirt.
But the crowd is digging it.
So dumb.
The crowd pops for that. It's insane. And they were, I was surprised because I remember when Keith Lee debuted and the crowd, the people, everybody went nuts. And to see how their dynamic has changed a little bit, I don't even know if it was so much that they don't like Keith Lee or Swerve, but more so like the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
A little better. Really wanted them to win. It's interesting.
They weren't bad. I mean, the Acclaimed was coming hard, and like Keith was getting a run for his money at one point, and that's not easy to do. Swerve is so much more the heel than Keith is, and they seem like they're falling apart. Not only did they hit each other throughout the match, but at the end of the match, they weren't on the same page. So I wonder if they're going to be splitting them up soon because they don't seem like they're cohesive at all.
Yeah, you're right. They love the Acclaim. These are future champions for sure. I think they're going to run this match back. And I think when they do, I think those titles are going to change hands.
Yeah, and I think it was a great match. Either way, it was a great match.
I'd say the match that you liked was the AEW Trios Championship match.
I sure did.
You had the Elite versus Hangman Page, Dark Order. You love your boys.
It's so funny because I just thought it was great. I really did. It was entertaining.
I kind of feel like I like the Trios Championship. We've seen factions of threes before, so I've always felt like this was needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good to see this type of championship in AEW. I almost wanted to see that in WWE, but at this point, it would be sloppy seconds. I mean, let's be honest. The New Day could have carried that all day.
All day.
You know what I mean? That would have been the bomb for me. But overall, that also was a good match. I'll tell you what was
But I just want to say that I think the Young Bucks have been. There's so many people to me who do not give them respect, but they are so good. I just can't understand how you. I don't understand how people don't respect how awesome they are. It's so awesome. They're so entertaining. You've never seen them in a storyline or in a match where they didn't deliver, ever.
And Omega looked good.
Oh, he did.
Omega looked good. He didn't miss a step.
And I love them together. And for him and I, when they came out dressed as Street Fighter at the beginning of AEW, oh my gosh, like that was just, they're so awesome.
Now let's get to the big one right now. Let's talk about Mox. Let's talk about CM
We're
Punk.
skipping there over the Daniel Bryan and Jericho.
You want to do? Okay, let's go with D-Bry.
Let's go with D-Bry.
We'll do Jericho.
And we'll do Mox last because we're on a
All right.
time limit. We're trying to get y'all to Raw.
I'm a fan. I saw some criticism of Jericho in this match. I didn't see it. Okay, considering what he has been through, what he had to do in this match. Because Bryan Danielson, as they say, he ain't no easy win.
No.
He's gonna make you work for it.
Work.
Yeah, he's gonna
And
make
they
you
were
earn
both
it.
trained by the same person. They both have so much in common as far as that goes. And they have so much history. And you knew it was going to be a match. And they delivered. Do I expect Jericho today to be exactly like the Jericho of his day? Come on, man. He's older. And we have to say, we know that like when you hit 40, it's not that easy to be getting hurt. You get hurt getting out of bed in the morning. So I give him his props for what he did. And I thought it was a great match.
Overall, for me, I think, again, I want to see them run that back. I thought Jericho for sure held his own. I love the Jericho Appreciation Club coming out there. It was, I loved Danielson's gear, the bloody gear.
That was nice.
And I can't really find a fault with that match because, again, with the way that Bryan is the kind of wrestler that he is, he was able to showcase that in this match.
Right.
Now,
and they kept the way that they kept being able to twist each other's, submissions around and get in it. I mean, they were really kind of trying to show each other up for a minute. And it was fun to watch.
Yes, technically speaking, it did take a low blow. Okay, everybody should be wearing a cup. Okay, technically.
But that's what heels do. I'm always for heels being heels. And you expect a heel to do that. That's why you expected Becky to cheat so many times. And he's a heel. So, and that's a great ending because then you're like, Bryan Danielson could have taken it. He still looks strong. He only lost on I think that makes them both look strong in that way. He took the match far enough, but then he's still a heel and does what he needs to do to win, which is a heel's mentality. So in that way,
let me ask you this: was anybody disappointed with Jungle Boy and Christian Cage? Was anybody disappointed in that match at all?
it wasn't a match.
Well,
It wasn't a match.
The bell rung. Technically,
The bell should have rung.
Technically, it was a match. Me personally, I love the interaction with Jungle Boy's family. I dig it when you bring them in, right? Just like FTR, 8-year-old girl. Come on, like we said.
Oh my God!
I think that made it for us.
Oh, she is so a future performer. Like, most 8-year-olds would be so shy to come out. Even when Brody's son comes out, he comes out, but he's very shy. She has no fear in her. She walked right down to that ring. She was. We were all about
Broke the pencil.
8-year-old girl. That was
Slammed it down, spit on her.
She is so a future superstar.
Loved it.
Loved that.
And you can tell when somebody is a natural.
Mm-hmm.
She has that innate ability. I almost see a Charlotte Flair-esque quality in her.
Yeah.
This is somebody that you're going to see, like you said, going to lace up these
She's going to
boots.
know how to perform.
The match itself was fine, but that made the match for me.
Yeah.
Like, that was just the cherry on top.
We're running out of time. Let's get to CM Punk and Mox. Now, we're going to actually just give a quick little thing about this because y'all got to go watch Raw. And because we are going to react to what CM Punk had to say and everything that happened. So we've heard about it, but we don't know. Like I just know I need to watch it. So we won't get into that as far as spoilers go. But Mox was hitting him so hard.
My God!
I mean, honestly, like outside of Sheamus and Drew going at it, like, and when Matt Hardy and Edge went at it, and it was for real back in the day, I think it's been a long time since I've seen somebody come hitting, like he was destroying Punk. And even though Punk won at the end, for most of the match, you felt for Punk.
Did he win though? At what cost? I mean, I think some years got off of their careers in this match. I said it once already. I'm gonna say it again. And pardon my language, it's a family show. Mox is a sadistic son of a bitch. Okay, he's a sadistic one.
And that's so old school wrestling, when you have someone busted open, so you do this to open the wound so that the blood is all over their face. That is so like what they used to do back in the day. I know. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I knew he was. As soon as he saw he was cut, you see that moment in the match where he turns around and sees he's bleeding, and he gets this little energy and was like running down there, like, oh, let me get that. Oh,
they put in some work. Again, at the end of this, the beauty of a match like this is you cannot fault anybody for coming up short, because you did everything, you put it all out there.
He made CM Punk step up to another level, in my opinion.
I hadn't seen these two wrestle like that in a minute. I loved it. I loved it. I love the blood and guts. I wanted to see more blood and guts. Okay, at least we got a little blood in the Ricochet Carmelo match. A little blood here. I think a little blood in the ear from Ricochet. I like to see that a little bit. Did John messed up? No, yeah, he did. You're absolutely right, Kenyun. Let's give him an extra 10 minutes to discuss Punk and Moxley. Thank you, Just Alex.
Thank you. Well, and that's the other thing, was that I literally said to him at one point when CM Punk was on the floor, he can't get dirty enough to fight Mox. And right after I said that, CM Punk turned around and dug into his eyeball, and I was like, okay, let me back up. I did not expect that, but clearly at that point, CM Punk was like, if this is what I need to do, I'm gonna try and dig in your eye, which is like how you would fight a shark off or a pit bull. When you don't know what else to do, you're gonna try and blind them. So at that point, I was like, this is deep, yo.
But it's another reason why, because I know people have discussed the idea of a possible Dean Ambrose return to WWE. I don't really see that happening. I think
bye, Nadia.
Goodbye, Nadia. Thank you very much. We're going to be getting out of here too. I think there's a certain amount of freedom that they have, depending on where you are in the pecking order. Right. Because there have been people who are very unhappy with AEW and the direction of their character, and have asked for their release. We know this much, right? And we're going to end it with somebody who did, in fact, show up at the end. MJF. Now, our MJF reaction to his promo that he did was probably our most popular, at least one of our most popular reactions, but also one of our most controversial.
It's still not as popular as Roman Reigns. He don't pull Roman Reigns numbers. However, the controversy behind it is so funny, because I still get so many people hate on me in the comments because I do not like this dude.
You hate on my woman, you hate on me, son.
It's just so funny to me. Like, you are not a gangster. This is professional wrestling, dude. Like, unpuff your chest. It's not that serious.
Goodbye, everybody. We are going to be getting out of here soon, because I know Monday Night Raw's here, but MJF is back.
Yes, and we're excited to see. I mean, this,
My question, though, to you is this. He did this. Is he going to get this? That's my question. I can see him as a champion. It took CM Punk a good minute to heal up, get back in the ring, regain that championship. I love Mox as champion. I'm fine with CM Punk as champion. Can MJF win the big one and carry this company on his back like he says he already does? This is my question.
And will their ratings change? So we've been talking about that their ratings have been going down. he's been MIA. I'm sure that as soon as he has a microphone, he's going to say the two were related. Are they in fact related? And are their numbers going to come back up over this dude? Is the crowd really this into him?
I gotta say yes.
It seems that way.
I gotta say yes.
I mean, I don't get it, but you know, to each their own.
Well, that's why they came from the jugular in our reaction video. Look, bottom line, the word kayfabe is still around all over the place. Mark is still around all over the place. Okay, we're all marks because we all love the kayfabe of professional wrestling. Okay, that's the facts.
Who said that? What's a famous wrestler said that?
Al Snow.
Yeah, Al Snow said that.
Right. So my whole thing is this. Like I said in the beginning, and I'm gonna end it with this. I love professional wrestling. I know what professional wrestling is. I do not care. All I want to do is be invested in what it is that I am watching. You're a pro. Get us to believe the storyline and whatever you're doing behind the scenes and telling your character with the promos and telling that story when you get into the ring. That's all I want to see. And overall, I would say that with Clash at the Castle, Worlds Collide, All Out, for the most part, overall, mission accomplished.
Yes. And just Alex, I absolutely agree. He has to beat CM Punk in order to be who he says he is, to be the guy, to be the top draw. He needs to be able to take this champion from CM Punk. But I wonder how MJF would do in that type of fight against Moxley, because that's not the same type of fight. Like CM Punk came out of it, but he almost seemed like he barely survived, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's injured.
Personally, I don't want to fight Moxley. He's like Mike Tyson. He's fighting everybody.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's a
hepatitis C.
How is MJF how is he against Moxley when it comes to getting down and dirty? That would be interesting. I would love to see that.
All right, so overall, we will say that the shows for us were 2 thumbs up. I think overall, there were some hits, there were a few duds, obviously, but they did what they had to do. My main critique out of all 3 shows would have to be AEW. Just what was it, 4.5 hours or something like that? Like it was long.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't go to an AEW pay-per-view if it was that long. I physically would just be passing out.
She would. Like we considered doing a live watch along with that, but we're like, are we going to invest 5 hours into this? I don't think we can do it. So at any rate, we're going to get that way. Ooh, that's a good. Can Jim carry the main event scene?
That's what we need to know.
See, and that's what I'm saying with Toni Storm. This is not a knock on Toni Storm, the person, the performer. She's good.
Yeah.
Is she? I can carry the company on my back as the women's champion. Good. That's my question. Does she? Because Britt Baker did that.
Yeah.
No cap. Facts. Can Toni Storm do that? That I question.
Yeah.
And I kind of question that with MJF. At any rate, we appreciate you guys so very much. We apologize for this being short. We do have to get out of here because we're going to react and get ready for Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, we have to film for that and then edit.
Thank you, Just Alex, for popping in here and showing some love. Man. Hit that like, smash it, rack it, stack it. All that stuff. Then we're going to be reacting to some, we got the CM Punk thing, Raw stuff.
Yep.
That is it. We appreciate you guys for allowing us to come over here and just kind of give our...
Yes. Thank you for jumping in here with us. Sorry it was short. We didn't mean to cut it short.
We didn't. It's a holiday weekend.
But we're not trying to compete with Raw.
No, we're not. So that is it. A.M.B. Combos.
Wrestling Edition.
All in love. We appreciate you and we wish you all a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Okay. A bit early. Good night.
Good night.